Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Daily Huddle. I'm excited today to have an amazing guest with us. You're going to love her. You're going to be inspired by her. As always, I bring you the cream of the crop people in my tribe. But before we start, you know what we got to do. We got to give you a little joke to get it started, to get the juices flowing. And today, in honor of my good friend Masani, I have a raw vegan joke for you. That's right, a raw vegan joke.
Okay.
The joke is, why didn't the detective investigate the murder of the vegan chickpea? Anyone.
There was no blood on the scene.
Wow,
That's a good one.
very
That's a good
intelligent,
one.
very
That's a
intelligent
good one.
brother. I like that. But
I
no,
like that too. Oh,
that's good. We'll get back to you. Got some good ideas. We need your number.
yeah, that was good.
The answer is they declared it a homicide.
Oh,
Roll
nice. Nice.
You know, I do what I can.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. You like that one, huh, Sorrel?
I like that.
You know, I do what I can for my people. Want to bring quality stuff to the huddle, you know.
You threw that. I like that. I like that.
Once again, welcome to the Daily Huddle. I'm your host, Chase Steele Greye, with my main man, Sorrel Keton. And as I said before, we have a really wonderful guest today, a good friend of mine for years, a soul sister, just solid in so many ways. I appreciate you so much, Queen. She is the owner of Delilah Fitness, and I'm going to read some of this for you because I really want you to know the specific things about my good friend. So Delilah Fitness is an NASM-certified fitness nutrition specialist, ACE-certified personal fitness trainer, cancer exercise specialist, boasts extensive experience in human performance nutrition and promoting healthy aging through physical activity and mobility. With over 30 years of experience, she has taught fitness classes and trained clients from diverse backgrounds, and of course, specializing in supporting individuals transitioning into a raw vegan lifestyle. And I don't know, there's so much I want to say about you. I just want to first and foremost give you your flowers. It's just an honor to be in your presence at all times, on the phone and in person. We met, I believe, at the co-op in Park Slope. So we met in a high vibrational area, which is an amazing thing. So, of course, today we're going to tackle this question, right? And man, Masani's going to tell us why she went vegan, raw vegan. And I'm going to give you the floor. Just give us a little bit about your story, a little bit about how you came to be in this particular space.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you. And again, I love you, brother. Thank you.
Love you back.
Where do I start? I grew up in a single parent home. We financially challenged, grew up on processed food, diabetes, grew up in the church. My mother's a minister, and a lot of us were transitioning at a young age. I've watched so many of my family slip out of my hands. I didn't have the opportunity to spend more time with them to get to know them, because a lot of them were dying. And I had an issue with the church and the health of the people congregation. And it just was confusing as a child, watching people praise the Lord and get their spirit right, but their body wasn't matching up with their spirit. And so I got into a state of depression watching my grandmother die at a very young age and getting her foot cut off. And God gives you signs. And still didn't change. And then the whole leg, and then eventually it took her whole body. So I went through deep depressions with that. And then I actually internalized a lot of pain, and myself got fibroids, and really not knowing following that lifestyle with processed food and soul food and mac and cheese and chitlins and ham and cheese and all that stuff that was actually making me sick, but me not knowing, and following an example of my family, knowing that something was wrong, but then subconsciously following what I knew it wasn't right, but there was so much battles in me. Then I got the fibroids, and the fibroids was a pivotal moment where I started to put two and two together, and I realized that they was going to give me a hysterectomy because I had 6 fibroids that they were going to cut me open. The doctor said, well, we found 6 in this inside, and we need to get give you a hysterectomy to remove it. And that's when I walked away, and that's when I went raw. I went raw, and I took my life serious because the food was killing me. I started doing research on raw. I started doing research on vegetarianism. I went vegetarian first, then I went all raw. And it's the raw vegan lifestyle, stuff like this, and just having these juices and all of these cucumbers and all of these stuff that I got on my like a cornucopia over here, that started it started to shrink. It started to disappear. Like in a year and a half, the fibroids disappear, and so did my hyperthyroid. So they left at the same time. So my body started regenerating itself. My skin started had a glow to it. I started getting more energy, and I just got a second wind on life. And a lot of people always ask me that question. I'm thinking to myself, a lot of people in my family have diabetes, and they say, Delilah, you look great. You look amazing. And I'm like, well, you could do this too. Nah, I'm too old for this. I can't change. You're going to die of something anyway. And I'm like, wow, people have really given up on life. And it's such a beautiful planet. It's such a beautiful place. So I went raw because I wanted to live a healthy existence on the planet. So that's why I went all in.
Good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. If you could, just for those who may be a little less educated on this particular lifestyle, can you break down the difference between vegetarian, vegan, and raw vegan?
Yes. Good question. Thank you. Vegetarian is, for my experience, is somebody who doesn't eat meat, but they eat cooked food and they eat processed vegetarian food. So they do eat cooked, they don't eat meat. And they do consume processed. And what happens with that is, for me, when I was vegetarian, it was very expensive because I went to the health food store and those burgers wasn't cheap. So, and I was cooking my food. My cholesterol went down a little bit because I wasn't eating flesh. So that's the distinction is, processed food, vegetarian food, cooked, and, vegetarian processed, cooked, and but they're not eating meat. Vegan is somebody who eats more fruits and vegetables and not cooked food, not meat, but they do cook some of their food. They do cook it. But with the raw vegan lifestyle, we don't cook our food. There are some people, there's people who do the dehydrator. Now the dehydrator, when I first transitioned into the lifestyle of raw, I was still addicted to cooked food and heat, and living in New York and needed something hot. So I would use a dehydrator for crackers. I needed that crunch. And so I went that route to get to this point. So I'm high raw right now. So I don't do the dehydrator like I used to because I need water in my food. I find with the dehydrator, even though when you heat your food, you don't heat it above 115. So you have the dehydrator. It has heat, but you can't cook the food above 115 because you'll kill the enzymes. You won't get the enzymes. And what raw vegans want is the enzymes. They want the medicine in the food to heal the body. But for me, I realized that I gave it up because I was feeling so dry and constipated. When we're grown, we could talk about going to the bathroom. I noticed when I eliminate, it was hard for me to eliminate, and it wasn't as smooth. It was kind of rocky, and I was still straining to go to the bathroom because it was no water in the food, and it was pulling from me. Once I started eating more foods that has water in it, and it has the chlorophyll, and it has the phytonutrients, I started getting more water. My skin started changing. I became much more hydrated. And the difference for me is how I was feeling. I wasn't feeling constipated. I was feeling much more, as far as my life energy, more energized when I just stopped eating using the dehydrator. I just started eating more living foods for a living body. So I basically, at this point in time of my life, I only eat fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts, and herbs, uncooked, unprocessed.
Right. So it just for everybody's clarity, you're in Belize right now, okay?
Yeah, I'm in Central America. Mhm.
And you have your place and everything's there. You don't cook anything.
I don't even own an oven.
You don't even have an oven in your
I
place.
don't even have an oven, not at all.
Right. So
No.
what would you say as a raw vegan? What is the thing that you? I don't even want to call it what I'm thinking, but I'm just going to say it as like a guilty pleasure. Like, what's your thing as a raw vegan you can have, but not too much, and it's so sweet and so good. You're like, oh, I want to get that. You know,
The raw vegan cheesecake. The
raw vegan
cheesecake, the raw
cheesecake.
vegan cheesecake. Yeah, the cheesecake. I would take and that's the cashews and with the fruit on top with the dates. That would be, or I'll just take a date if I don't, because it's so funny because I'm 57. I'll be 57. When you start to get mature and your body starts to change, I'm not in my 20s, so I'm not going to be reproducing a child. You know what I mean? So I'm going through menopause.
Right.
And I'm so happy, thank God. I'm going through menopause. So my body doesn't need that many calories, and my taste buds have changed to more savory. So for me, a pineapple, or if I want something extreme, I'll have like a date or something like that. But I'm 57, so it's
She
different.
said a date. A date. That's so extreme. A date.
Yeah. For me, because I don't really, and as you get older, your teeth start changing.
Right.
So I'm very,
you.
if you'd asked me when I was 20, I would have been like, but it's since the fibroids left and I'm feeling great. I want to be like this too, or like I'm 100 or 110. So I'm always saying to myself, how can it's like putting money in the bank. I'm making deposits. So God forbid if something should happen to me, I put enough in this body that I'll be able to maintain this, whatever should happen, I'll be okay. And also my brain. Alzheimer runs in my family, and dementia and all that. So I have to be extremely careful of what I put in my body, because I have seen a lot of people in my family who don't even know who they are. We had to put them in a nursing home, but I don't want to be in a nursing home either. You know what I mean? So it's something that it's an investment, and that's what I do. But thanks for that question.
So excellent. Of course, we can't be here and not talk about the fitness side of your life. So,
yes.
you and I both know that one time we were both raw vegan around the middle section of our journey together. And I was raw vegan and I was doing Bikram yoga, and I was pushing my body to the edge. I got really thin and very cut up, but I think I did it too quick in that moment. Mm-hmm. So I pulled away from it a little bit. I mean, I'm in great shape today. It's just during that time. So my question is, to somebody who is thinking about going raw vegan, how is your physicality married to the raw vegan lifestyle? Like, what do you do on a consistent basis to maintain this? I mean, you're a trainer, so I'm asking a question that's a little different, but No,
it's a good question. Thanks for that question. I got to tell you, I get a lot of men and asking me, I would love to go that route, but I'm afraid because I don't want to lose my muscle mass. One of the things that I can say as somebody who consumes this lifestyle is your micro macronutrients. You have to know where to get your protein from. I do a program. I have the 7-Day Raw Vegan Challenge book, which gives you micro macronutrients. It gives you a certain amount of amino acids that you need. And I talk people through the process as far as what you need and how to prepare it. I don't take supplements. I know people said B12 and, but I get everything from the food. And for me, I think people make the mistake. I do yoga, but I'm coming from a bodybuilder mentality. I still bench press 50 pounds on each hand. I think people, if you lift light weights and you're doing aerobic exercise and you're not bench pressing, like you're not challenging to doing a 1-rep max, because your body's still going to build muscle mass.
Correct.
You know what I mean? But it's not going to be inflammation. A lot of the bodybuilders, and when I was going to the gym, everybody was doing steroids. And I didn't want to do that. And it's a different story for them now because they don't look the same. But your body will respond to what you put out. If you are lifting heavier weights, it will adapt. And you will get muscle, lean muscle mass. But I think people don't push themselves in the fitness arena. And it's not to push yourself in and say, like, do it all at once. And also rest is important because your body grows when it's resting. Right. So 3 days is enough. 3 days is enough. Mm-hmm. You don't have to kill yourself because what happens when people don't know, they end up not knowing, not getting a coach. And I highly recommend a coach because I just hired a business coach. And I'm going to tell you how much I paid. And I think it's important that people get comfortable spending that money and to invest in themselves. And that's one of the things that rich people do that poor people don't do. Poor people don't take a risk and invest in themselves. They're so scared of spending that money, but it comes back to you. So I hired a business coach because my business wasn't doing that great for $3,800 for the 3 months. And it came in handy. So I would say for somebody who's going this route, hire a trainer, hire somebody, get it and really get the benefits because the person gives you the shortcuts because, and also investigate, but it can be done. Men can maintain lean muscle mass on a raw vegan lifestyle. And then one more thing, you notice how I said lifestyle and not diet. I don't care what anybody says. Diets don't work. Diets don't work. This is the word D-I-E, die. Yep. Die it, as opposed to lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Lifestyle, diet. And the thing with diets is that you'll take a break from what you've been doing that's been making you sick or whatever you're trying to run from, and then you run right back into it. So you end up regurgitating. So you spend time getting away from it because you say you have these goals, you reach the goals, and then you go right back to it. And now you got to come back again. So a lifestyle is something that's built in. I don't have to go and lose weight to go to the beach. I'm bikini ready right now. I could throw in a bikini and go to the beach right now, and I'm ready. Yes. You know what I mean? So I don't have to do, that's something that I don't have to worry about. Now I can take that energy and put that energy into something else. That's something that's not part of my reality. I have to go, oh my God, I gotta lose weight. And the New Year's resolution, that is not, I could put that somewhere else. But it's energy that serves somewhere else. So, I'm grateful that I took time to educate myself on this. And it's stressful, especially as a woman. I'm 57, going through menopause. Heat flashes and all those symptoms, I don't get the regular menopause. I'm living my life like I'm 20. Right. I don't have my cycle, but my body's not dried up like a raisin. You know why? Because I stay hydrated on a cellular level. And I don't put a lot of, get the juice. It has the nutrients in it. So a lot of us need a little bit more education and to be around people that live that lifestyle. Hit me up on Instagram. A lot of older women are saying, you inspire me because of you. I'm getting rid of my medication. They're taking off the hormones. I'm not doing the hormones anymore. It's real. It can happen. So thank you for that question, Chase.
Excellent answer. So for people who are listening to all this and maybe like, wow, getting a little stimulated by this information, do you have, and all your information is there. I'm so happy. So please, everyone, check her out because she has so much stuff going on. Do you have, or would you say there was any sort of book or video or movie that inspired you more? Like, what could somebody read now that may be entering this lifestyle or want to be a little bit more educated on it? Do you have any kind of books like that? And I know you mentioned David Wolf. That's my boy.
Yeah,
I know
David Wolf. Yeah, he inspired me. Yeah. He's in Panama. He inspired me. But there's a couple of them that inspire me. But I gotta say, and I'm gonna say it. Don't beat up on yourself. I gotta tell you that. We all go through phases. You may want to try this, but if you just want to do 20-80, I'm not saying to you that you're a bad person because you're still eating cooked food. No, it worked for me, but I'm just sharing my lifestyle with you because you may want to take some of these gems and add it to your life. So don't feel that, she's wrong and she's no. It's not extreme. It's love here. I'm giving you love. And all I want to do is share with you a salad. That if you just add that little thing of a salad with yourself, just have a salad, it will change the consistency of the roughage in your colon. That's it. You may still want to eat your cooked food. That's fine. It's not a judgment call here. It's just to share my world with you and you to take it and run with it. Take it and run with it. If it would make you a better and healthier person, that's all it is. So no judgment.
That's
Got
true.
love for you. Got
Well,
love
that's
for you,
true.
baby.
That's true.
Got
And you know
love
what's
for
great about you? What I always want to say to you is you're one of the people who walks the walk and talks the talk. We talked about that. Trainers who are overweight, training people. When I look at you and them guns are popping out like, I'm like, why would I not listen to her? Why would I not listen to her too? And I've known you for years.
Woo, man.
I've never
We go
seen
back.
you not look like that. And I just want to tell you that because when I first met you, I was like, wow. I think I might have said that to you. I'm like, what is in your arm?
You did.
I was like,
You did. I remember. But I
I was-
love you, kid. Yeah, I love you like the brother I always wanted to have.
I appreciate
And
you
I'm
so
so
much.
glad you're in my life. And I'm
I
so proud of
appreciate
you,
you so
man.
much, yes.
I'm sending
This
you
is
a
what we
big
do.
hug.
We
Loving
love.
you. Mwah.
We
Loving you,
love.
baby.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
So I want to give anyone a chance to ask a question because I know there must be questions. I see Stan has a question.
Mhm.
And let's go with Stan. Let's see what Stan's got to say.
Wow. Delilah, you are absolutely amazing, young lady. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. You really, really are. And thank you so much, Chase,
Thank you.
for bringing this beautiful young lady on today. And how, well, you know something, you answered my question before I actually asked it because you said eat a salad. You said, come on, let's start making those changes. Because I was going to ask you, where would you recommend someone to start? And you answered it before I asked you.
Right.
So thank you so much for that,
you.
Delilah. I don't have
Thank
enough.
you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. Ronald.
Yeah,
I think you're muted. Oh, you got it. Okay.
that's a jewel there. She's fantastic.
Trying to tell you.
Fantastic. One thing I'm actually I went to your website while you were speaking. I was like looking at Belize. This is really Billy's looking good.
So beautiful.
Yeah. So this gonna be on the list for next vacation for sure.
Come on down.
Yeah, but
Love to have you guys.
Is there what would you say
Mhm.
about a transition time? Is there such thing as a transition time or progressively transition to that? I know you talk about, eat a salad today but is there some kind of a cleansing process or a period of transition, or you mentally making the shift? And how did you mentally make that shift? If somebody that is not as driven as you are, what would you say to somebody like that?
I think for me, thank you for that question, sir. I think for me, it was God talking to me. I was living a lifestyle where at one point I was very abusive and I used to drink alcohol, and I was not in a place of self-love. So I was eating my emotions. I was dealing with childhood trauma, and I was reckless. And that manifested itself into my consumption of what I was putting in my body. I did not have self-love for myself, so that manifests what I was putting in my mouth. And I was in a very abusive relationship. So I was feeling broken. And that manifested itself in my food choices. It's not until I broke the ties and I my health was deteriorating and I was practically dying, that I was resurrected and I seek choices, and I found people, and I started researching David Wolf and other people that was living the lifestyle. I couldn't go raw because that was extreme for me. It was too extreme for me. I wasn't ready. So I went vegetarian, and I realized that being vegetarian was feeding, and then I found out that I had fibroids. It was feeding the disease based on me being so, and we don't see what we spiritually, what we do with ourselves, and also childhood trauma. I was holding on to a lot of pain, and I wasn't loving myself, and I was feeling ugly as a melanin woman with a big nose. I wasn't light skinned. I had a lot of issues. You know what I'm saying? So what happened was I had to really transition slowly, and also I had to transition and love myself. So when I started loving myself, I started putting love in my body. I started taking care of my body, and I started loving myself enough not to be in abusive situations with people, including family and friends. So it was a transition, a spiritual transition, and it was a physical transition at the same time. So it's all about you and what is your pain. Because a lot of time with people, they can have a goal, but if you knew you had cancer and you was going to die in 6 months, you would definitely have that as your modus operandi, why you would not eat that kind of food. It all depends on each individual having their own journey and their own experience. What do they value in life? Is the pain great enough for them to change? Because I could say my story, but my story may not be your story. You know what I'm saying? So we all have to really find that space in us that where you want to change. Some people will say, yo, you gotta die of something anyway. I had a client that had lung cancer, and he was so vigilant of smoking cigarettes. They had cut his trachea open, he had a hole, and he was still smoking cigarettes like this. He was so, his mind and his subconscious mind, he was so addicted to cigarettes that he had throat cancer, and he still was like this, getting cigarettes going like this. So it all depends on you.
Got it.
You.
Great
Yeah.
answer.
Depends on you.
Great answer.
Thank
Sorel
you.
Ketan. That's my boy. That's my boy.
Morning, Delilah. How are you?
Morning,
You're
morning,
awesome.
morning.
You're in Belize. Oh my God.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you for this opportunity. I'm really feeling the energy of love. So thank you, brother. And it's wonderful to be around some amazing solarized brothers. I just want to say I commend you guys for being a shining example in the community. So, I mean, I'm blessed even being around all three of you amazing gentlemen. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you have a primer that is available to the world?
A primer?
Right around, you're in Belize and we're here and we want to follow something. Do you have like a primer that would say, okay, start here, do this, buy that?
Oh, okay. What I could say honestly, first of all, get a checkup of your blood work and get a checkup of your body, see what's going on. And once you start to check it, because as we get older, the body starts to change. But I would say focus on, and I know this sounds corny, I'm a very spiritual person. I would say chime into your soul, into your spirit. A lot of us, especially in the melanin community, have a lot of post-traumatic syndrome. And a lot of us have issues with loving ourselves. Get a journal, start writing things that you love about yourself, because once you start to write that, then you'll start to feed yourself love. Because a lot of us are so much in pain that we can't even work together. And I grew up on welfare. I've watched good people go to jail and end up on crack, and they didn't see their self-worth. So the food is great, it's the portal, but also work on healing. Because you could have a great body and be a horrible person and a narcissist. So I'm just saying, when you start this journey, be honest with yourself. Ask those questions that you've been running from. Why are you like that? Because if you don't get the why, you're always going to come back to this place again. Why do you want to change? You know what I mean? Ask yourself, because I've seen people do one-hit wonders and they go back. You don't want to come back and you want to burn that bridge, and it's a lifestyle. So you can help other people in the community, because right now, this interview is going to spark something in somebody. And if I didn't work on my mental, physical, and spiritual, and I was a narcissist coming in here saying, yeah, I got a nice body and I agree, and judging people, I'm better than you because I'm raw vegan and I eat greens and you still eat meat, you're a loser. That is negative energy. Nobody is going to appreciate this lifestyle because I'm attacking them. I had to work on myself so I can be able to pour into you and be of service to humanity. So this movement is bigger than me. I am just a servant of humanity. And basically what you're looking at is a reflection of yourself. It's what you can be if you believe and if you work on yourself. That's what I would say.
Thank you, Delilah. Thank you.
Indeed, that was amazing. Well, we get time for maybe one more question or comment. Otherwise, we're going to begin to wrap it up here. It's been amazing. I wish we had another hour. Man, whoo, so many levels to this woman with the jewelry, with the sewing, with the, oh man, we just scraped like a 16th of this beautiful soul. But I will say,
I saw just,
oh, you saw it. Yeah, go ahead.
Just one other thing, and Delilah, I saw, you know, that website, man, it's amazing. You know, make me want to catch a flight now. You know, because
No doubt, no doubt,
yeah,
no doubt.
now I saw your price there, and that's something that's really interesting. So is that meal included?
Everything's
'cause it's
included,
kinda really
everything,
kinda quick
lodging,
to read it.
everything except for airfare, the workshops, hiking the Mayan ruins, zip lining, the whole nine, everything's included. The 5-star resort that you're staying at, it's at a bungalow, a nice resort overlooking the lush green horizon. So you're gonna be staying in a beautiful place, sunsets, and the bottom line is that you have Wi-Fi, you have air conditioning in your room, you can do double or single occupancy, but the place is, it's gorgeous.
So
It's
would you
gorgeous,
say,
so-
you just say in a week, let's say 6 nights, would you say you guaranteed to lose, 10, 15 pounds?
Yes, guaranteed. And
He
people
said
have
the G
done.
word.
No, guaranteed. And I can say it with confidence because you know why? It has happened. It has
Oh.
happened. And even with people who have worked with me doing a 7-day raw vegan challenge, they have lost 10 to 15 pounds. So I can guarantee, say yes with confidence. So yes, you would.
Excellent.
Now come on down. Let's
Come on,
go.
man. So, well, let's do this,
That's
man.
funny. Yeah,
Indeed,
let's get you
indeed.
back. Let's
We
take off
gotta
10.
catch a couple of brothers and go down there, man.
Yeah, the brothers come down, the brothers retreat and take off 10 years of stress off your body. The mangoes, because mango season is coming up. Mango, avocados. We got sour sap, the sour sap. So I had 5 sour sap trees, but we got everything's coming up because you're going to be coming at the right time because June is harvest when all of this stuff is coming up. Custard apple.
Oh,
So
man.
we got the whole thing. Some black sapote that tastes like pudding. We got mamey. Mamey tastes like pumpkin pie. It comes right off the tree. But if you know those fruits,
I'm
delicious.
so hungry. Stop, please. I'm so hungry now. I'm about to eat this phone.
Sounds
Golly.
very tentative.
Well, shoot.
Sounds tentative.
We are in time. We're overtime a little bit, but
All
I want to
right.
once again thank you for being here with us. Obviously, a wealth of information to pick from on all your sites and different things. People can be in contact with you. It's amazing. And before we go, I just want to once again go over our attendance because we always make sure we put them at the end of the show to make sure you're in the view and the feeling of these great things that we all need. Of course, live out loud, live stronger, live higher, love everything, please, more than you used to or you do right now. Please give of yourself fully because we all have these magical gifts. Make sure you're moving that body and make sure you are getting lots of sleep, please. I'm speaking to myself because my mind is so active. I need to sleep more. And of course, please, ladies and gentlemen, check yourself before you wreck yourself. It's important. It's so important. Have a spectacular day, everybody. Thank you, Queen, for joining us. It's been a pleasure. And we will see you tomorrow on the Daily Huddle once again. Have a great one, everybody. Peace.
Peace.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome, my friend.
Good stuff. Good stuff. There she is.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I thank you so much for this opportunity. I appreciate it. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Welcome
It
to
was
the
great
after
fun.
show. Well,
You're working with some amazing